everyone, and welcome to Thick on Top, where we're going to learn about how to keep your hair and how to regrow your hair. So pretty much everyone in my family is bald. My mom's dad, my dad's dad, you name it, it's not in my genes. My cousins, my uncles, everyone starts going bald pretty much in their early 20s. They keep their hair till probably right around 30, and then you start baking it. Just start taking a razor to the head and just accept that they're bald. I really did not want to go through this, but I was 20 years old when it started happening to me. The average person loses 100 to 150 hairs a day, depending on who you talk to. I was losing 400 to 500 hairs per day. And I know this because I bought one of those little hair catcher things, and you put it in your drain, so that way all the hairs get caught. And I would count them after showers. And I would shower every day, and I would count over 400 hairs. Okay, I don't think I've ever panicked this much in my life, because it's at a time when I want to be dating, I want my life to go on, and I don't want to be bald. I really did not want to be bald. So I did all the research that I possibly could. I experimented with everything hair loss: ketoconazole, finasteride, minoxidil, which I'll cover in later videos on benefits and of course the cons. And I tried everything from hanging upside down to massaging my head to apple cider vinegar and making my hair smell like vomit. Seriously, like vomit. It was bad. I tried everything. But what started to happen was you don't know what's working because so many things are going on at once. And my hair routine becomes an hour a day. But then I needed to take a step back and find out what works. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 exercises that I've done to really get the blood flow to my head. So what I mean by that is blood flow is key. I believe that having one of the key points to our body being healthy is having nutrients in our blood and having good blood flow, because that blood is bringing nutrients to every part of your body. But what begins to happen when we don't treat our body right? That blood flow gets restricted, especially under stress, right? That's why when we're stressed, we'll gain weight or we'll lose weight, depending on kind of what we're prone to. We'll get acne, you can break out in hives or a rash, or just get sick because of our bodies aren't functioning properly. Today, I want to talk a little bit about how to get that blood flow back up to the scalp. So think about this. Every time you see a bald person, they've all got that ring around their head. It's skin on top, and there's always hair on the side. Why is there hair on the side? Because gravity is always there. Gravity is pulling the blood down. Now, blood still gets up to the top of your head, but go to like a smooth flowing river. The bottom, the rocks, they're clean, right? The water's constantly cleaning it. But maybe as the season changes and the water starts to slow down, or it starts to create little ponds, what happens to those little ponds, those mini lakes, I guess? It gets mosquitoes, it kind of gets moss, it gets dirt, it starts to maybe even smell bad. And because it's not moving, and that's what happens to the top of our heads. That is part of the talk on DHT. The blood flow is just not there. So it's leaving gunk and dirt and garbage behind, clogging our hair follicles. But what's also happening is it's just not bringing the right amount of nutrients to the hair to help it grow. Now, here are the 3 tips that I said I'd mention. The very first one that I love to do. I do it every single day. What I'm going to be doing is pinching my scalp together. And as you pinch, if you ever watch on your arm, if you were to pinch it and then release, it gets red. Why is it getting red? Because blood is rushing to the surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch my scalp together and release. Pinch and release. What I'm doing is I'm kind of grabbing about this far apart, and I'm pinching the scalp together, and then I'm pulling it when I release it. I'm not just kind of relaxing, I'm actually pulling it. And this is a really interesting thing. You might not notice it the first time you do it, but as you get in the habit of this, you're gonna realize that you can feel the blood coming to the surface and actually lubricating the skin. So I'll even do this too to kind of make it more powerful. I will pinch and release, and pinch and release. I'll do it to my temples, pinch and release, pinch and release. I do it at the back of my head, of course, because I don't want to lose hair there. I'll pinch, and I'm almost kind of grabbing my head like this and pinching up, or my hands like this sometimes. I'll pinch really hard and release, and I'll do it all over my scalp, even in the middle, pinch and release. And as you do that, you'll feel your skin just become alive, full of blood. And this blood is key to helping your scalp be healthy and helping your hair follicles get the nutrients they need to grow lots of hair, thick hair. If you have any of these like dying hair follicles that are producing small little hairs now, just imagine what's going on inside that factory. It's just dying, it's just being pinched, it's being malnourished. And that's why it's trying to produce, but all it can produce, instead of producing thick hair, all it can produce is a little finger of hair, because it's like, it's not even getting the nutrients it needs to produce. I kind of think of it like, if you ran a factory and you had 5 semi-trucks a day deliver raw ingredients and you were pumping out bread, then over the years, 4 semi-trucks start coming every single day full of ingredients, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1, and you're still a factory, and you still are expected to produce the same amount of bread, but it's just not possible. So you do what you can, and that's what those little hair follicles are doing. However, if you can start to deliver 5 semi-trucks full of raw ingredients every single day once more, what's going to happen? It might take a little bit of time. They can come back in and start to say, we got the nutrients we need, let's start again. Might take a couple months, but that hair is going to start growing again. If the hair is completely dead and the factory is shut down, it's going to be more difficult to bring the hair back. So that's what I'm talking about here. The first one is getting blood to the scalp by doing this, pinching and releasing. Now what I'll do in places that I really don't want to lose my hair, I'll pinch really hard for maybe 30 seconds. So I will pinch and just kind of hold it there. Pinch. Sometimes I'll kind of release for a little bit, pull, pinch. Now for step number 2. This one is really, really great because you can do it anywhere. Watch as I do this. So you'll see here, these muscles here, I'm flexing them by lifting my eyebrows, pulling my scalp down, and then I'm going to be flexing these muscles in the back near the ears. It's going to pull my scalp backwards. Boom, 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 boom. What's amazing about this is it gets those muscles around your head full of blood, and it just helps promote blood to the scalp. If you ever worked out at the gym and you start to lift, or let's say you're working arms one day, you're lifting a set of biceps and a set of triceps, pull, push, you realize pretty quickly that your arms not only feel tired, but they also start to get bigger because the blood flow. That's what we're trying to do here, is get the blood flowing to the top. I'll be teaching this in a later video on how you can do that, because a lot of people can do this one, but not a lot of people can do this one. So when you flex it back, and I'm going to be expounding on that in a later video. If you can't do the flex back, at least work on the front. So you can lift your eyebrows really, really heavy, really, really hard. Just lift your eyebrows. I look ridiculous, I know that. So I don't do it in public. I'll do it while I'm driving. Sometimes people look at me while I'm driving, but luckily I'll never see them again. So I just go like this, lift, lift, lift. And then once I learned how to do these back ones, I started doing lift, back, lift, back, lift, back. And I can feel my muscles getting sore and like just working and working. And I know that I'm promoting good, healthy blood flow right to my scalp. which will then feed my hair follicles and give them the raw ingredients they need to produce hair. Third tip. So this one is my favorite one of the exercises. Now, what we do is I hang upside down. But when I first started doing it, I realized, it was difficult at first. So I'd hang off the side of my bed. I'd lay on my stomach, kind of scoot over the side of my bed where my legs were still in the bed, but my head was hanging off. I got one of the things that chiropractors give you, where you kind of strap your feet in and you hang upside down. But this wasn't quite enough. I was watching this video on the Air Force, and one of the maneuvers that aircrafts do is as they come in, they'll pull up really, really hard. Now this can put incredible amount of force on their body downwards, and all their blood can get forced down. In order to counteract this, what they do is they do breath techniques to keep blood to their brain so they don't pass out. And this is where everything started to change for me. And this is where I took my hair from being normal to now every 3 or 4 days when I wash my hair, I maybe lose like 60 or 70 hairs, which is unreal. Something I could have only have prayed for years ago. And now it's a reality today. So my number one technique, I'm just hanging out the side of my bed. So I'll kind of go to the edge of the bed, leave my legs hanging on the bed, kind of bring like the edge of the mattress maybe to my belly button. As I hang off, all of a sudden you'll feel the blood start rushing to your head. Sometimes you get bloodshot eyes, and that's totally fine. That doesn't last very long. But you can feel that the blood is actually going there. That's what we need, is the blood flow to the head. The one thing the Air Force does that enhances this is this breath technique. So they do this, and you can practice here with me. So take a couple of big, deep breaths. Now on one of these breaths, you're going to restrict the air. And you want to practice with your mouth open so you know where the air is being restricted. You kind of feel that. Okay, what am I doing? I'm restricting the air. If I go, I'm trying to push the air out. If you do that with a lot of force, you'll actually feel your face become full of blood. When you do it when you're upside down, it's a whole nother experience where the blood just rushes to your head. And this is where it takes it to that next level. I hang upside down for 3 minutes in the morning and 3 minutes in the evening. That's it. I set a timer for 3 minutes while I'm hanging upside down. It sounds a lot like this. Now I know it sounds weird, and it can sound like a lot of other things. Now, if I did it a lot harder and for longer, you'd actually be able to see my face become more red as the blood rushed up there. I was in hardcore panic mode. I would sit there at night and think about myself being bald and try and be like, it's gonna be okay. Girls will still like me. I can still get a job. I know a couple bald people that are funny. Oh, Joe Rogan. Oh, Howie Mandel. Oh, I would think about these bald people, but like, I just don't want to be bald. Now I can show you what my hairline looks like. So if I lift up my hair, you can actually see on this side, pretty good. My hairline got a tiny bit thinner, but not much. I think it's starting to thicken back up. Right there in the middle. Now right over here is where it thinned the most. But it's starting to come back. And over here. Now also on the back of my head, you can't see it's thinning, which I'm so grateful for because I've gained some thickness back, but I've most importantly stopped my hair loss, and I'm going to keep what I have. And that's really important to me in my life. I like my hair. So in the coming videos, I'm going to be going over some different tips. Not only tips, these are real things that I do. Real, true things. From nourishment from the inside, foods that I feed my body, talking about water intake and how that helps, talking about different things I apply to my scalp. I'll also be getting into the mindset that you need to be in for all this, and how to reduce stress. So if you like this video, please subscribe. I want this channel to completely blow up in the best way possible. I want this channel to be everywhere because the amount of stress and worry that I went through and panic for almost 2 years, I don't want anyone else to go through that. That's why I'm building this channel. If you like this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I post a new video. And I hope that this helped. Next time on Thick on Top, talk with you later.